welcome to Beyond the Tools, the second episode, and really glad I'm having with me a dear friend. I mean, we became friends and obviously we work together. I'm Floring and I'm running ACF Plumbing and Heating, which is the sponsor of this podcast for today. And what we want to cover in this podcast, so my friend is actually running an electrical company, electrical contractor company, and what we want to cover today, as in the previous episode, will be sectioned into one will be business to business, and then will be business to consumer. We would strongly believe that we can add value to customers, how to avoid some silly mistakes, and of course for the new people who want to join the industry. It doesn't matter if you're a plumber, electrician, or if you are, I don't know, carpenter, bricklayer. I think it applies the same rules, because in the end we need to add value to customers if you want to thrive and survive in these difficult markets. David, give us a quick introduction about yourself.
Well, thank you very much for having me here first of all. I do run a small electrical business in Corby, basically. Okay. Not many of stuff. It's the two of us at the moment and the tools, and we've got an apprentice starting on September.
Oh, that's cool.
A bit of a background. So I'm from Hungary, obviously.
Okay.
And moved to England in 2012.
Okay.
Leaving London, obviously picked up the language, started studying, and I picked electrical. Because of my dad. So he's an electrician. He's always been an electrician. I just went to college, went to Corby, and then became an electrician in 2019. So since then I was subbing, and then decided to set it on my own.
Oh, that's good.
And then that's it really. And then we're going on ever since. So we've become friends through work, didn't we?
Yeah, we just bumped into each other.
Not really. Wives. Through wives. So through our wives, both hairdressers, both Christinas, and they.
Exactly.
So, So we got a thing in common, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
We got Christinas in common.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So first section, business to business. How we will run this episode will be a question, and both of us will just put our input here. And the first subject will be the best way to engage with the customers and engage to their needs. The question for David first will be, why is it important to bring your company, your service in front of your customers, and how you do that?
Well, it is. I think it's quite important, to be honest, because you want to provide them with all the information that others don't. So you want to stand out from the competition. You wanna provide a high quality service, just exactly the same that you would expect when you get someone in to do some work. I mean, if I want to get any sort of a trade in my house, I would want to know a couple of things, don't you?
Okay.
You want to know what they do, you know what they've done before, the quality of work they do. So many things that you know, prices. So you want to be. You want to be like, if you were to be a customer, you want to provide the exact same service that you
and as you say, you want to stand out, because I think everybody does the same things. Everybody's electrician or plumber or whatever. Yeah. But in order for a customer to kind of came towards they need to see the extra value. They need to see the actually care. And I like on your leaflets, first time when I came across your leaflets, you have a code say that, you'll pay what you get code for.
Exactly.
So there's no surprises. And then there was another one that we will come to see you, or something like that.
We turn up when we say we will.
Exactly, we turn up. So that, I think there's a...
Well, you have to turn up. That's the main thing. Well, sort of, if you turn up, you got the job for 50%.
Yes. Oh, that's so true.
Like,
that's so true.
So many tradesmen don't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Never do.
Yeah.
And the problem with that, it leaves you with the bad feeling, doesn't it? So if you get someone in, you call somebody, and then you're waiting, and then you're being let down, it's a horrible feeling.
Oh yeah.
So you've been promised everything.
Is it something common in
electrical
your
industry?
Yeah?
Oh
Is
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Are you busy all the time? If you
Yes,
got
we
to
are.
call the customers,
We are busy. Yeah, because it is a main thing. Like so many tradesmen give a bad name to the industry by not turning up, not caring after. And yeah, I think being let down is just a no-no.
I remember when I have different backgrounds how I started. So I used to work for a company. They saw potential in me and they put me to do some training just to keep me in the company. So they offered to pay for my trainings for plumbing and gas. And when I started by myself, just because it was how it was, the company went bust, so I have to take my life in my own hands. So many times I've been afraid about, challenges, situations. Yeah. But what I learned from a lot of people is like, you just have to be honest. You first show up there, you take all the information you need to provide the service. And if you don't know, just go and find the answers, because there are a lot of people out there to help. But as you said, the first and most important thing will be to show up.
100%.
As I said, the fact that you are there when you said you'll go there, I think that changed everything. And the customer suddenly like, wow, this is the first plumber to show up.
Golden, we need to keep him. Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, because we'll move to the next subject shortly. The systems in place, I think when our company kind of took over and it kind of like started to grow, it was when we understood how important is actually is the side of, no one sees it, but you have to kind of communicate with the people in the background, like putting in the system, send them the reminders of the booking, and keep engaged with them, even though it's not necessarily on the phone call. But exactly that kind of suddenly for them was like, whoa! I mean, this guy actually he bothered to text me or email me that actually that's the booking.
Yeah, you do get compliments on the communication.
And
when they call. The phone gets answered. They get a date. Do you know what I mean? They get a date. They don't need to leave a message. Sometimes, obviously, yes, it is.
Yeah, sometimes you get busy there.
But the fact that someone picks the phone up, gives them a date, and then you turn up. Yeah.
Yeah, I shared this story in my first episode. When we moved in the last house, we got the keys, and obviously when we saw the house, we did not check all the doors, but the garage door was broken, so we could not get in. And obviously we had a lot of stuff from the previous house to move. And first thing what you do, you go on Google, and I did not even pay attention too much to read reviews, but I just saw this company called the guy. He booked it for next day, and I don't know, after lunchtime some point, but I was waiting all the afternoon. No one bothered to come. Next day, called them, say, I apologize, we'll come that day. Second time the same. And that left me with such a anger and with a
disappointment,
weird taste, like how on earth you can run a business that way. And you'll expect, especially it was kind of like a nationwide company, but it seems like they were using subcontractors. But the idea is you cannot win work, and you cannot be perceived as a quality service provider if you don't meet the basic. I mean, I will say the basic. If you say I'm doing it. If you say I will be there in that, they just do it for God's sake. It's not that difficult. Or if it happens that you run late.
Oh, you let them know. You have to let them know in advance.
I mean, that's so
you're
crucial.
Human after all.
I mean, you can be late an hour or 2 or 3. That's no problem. But if that guy will call me and say, "Listen, mate, I won't make it. There's no way on earth. Can we reschedule for that day?" I'll appreciate that.
100%. Anything can come up. Like you drive. You drive. You're on a road. It's not like
car crash or something.
Anything. Anything could happen, and you could be late. But don't make stories up. I used to, I used to work before. You just can't make it. You book a job in, and then they call, say, "Oh, I'm getting the power back in for this order lady." No, you're not. You just overbook yourself. So you just don't. That's to be honest, having a system in place, having a proper diary in place where you literally know what you're doing in every minute of your business hours. Helps a lot, doesn't it?
That's crucial. Yeah, actually, that's the next subject, how to optimize and create systems. Obviously, we already start to talk about this, but how important was for you to get feedbacks from customers, especially when you started? Because obviously there is, you start and then you start to get feedbacks, and then you start to create that system around to make sure
around your customers.
Yeah.
So I believe reviews from customers, not necessarily reviews, but the feedback they give you, not about you. So when not what they leave on Google and something, how satisfied they are, it's about how can you improve. So negative reviews, if you have any, obviously, it's just as important. Like reviews, feedbacks, call them feedbacks, not reviews. Feedbacks from a customer saying, so for example, when I had my new office stuff on, an old customer of mine, actually very first customer of mine, I went to do a work. She booked something in, and then I turned up and she said, do you know what, I would appreciate it, like you need to let people know. She's a very difficult customer. She's got loads of dogs. You probably know her. You don't know, you used to work for her. Yeah. So and she said, it would have been nice, to know that I'm going to speak to someone else on the phone. Yeah. So I'm not the one who picks the phone up anymore. It will be someone else. And I took that as as a feedback. And you know what, my other customers might think the same way. They called me for a year or so expecting me to pick the phone up, someone else picks it up. So what I did is I sent out an email. Obviously you having a system in place, you keep customer details, so I sent out an email saying, this is my new office stuff, this is his background.
Wow.
Yeah. So
kind of introduce
and
that's good.
While you introduce your office stuff, you let them know that you're still out there in business. So if they need someone to call, if they need
that makes
an electrician.
Sense. Especially because you grow from sort of one-man band, and obviously you will bring new member of staff in, and just the fact that you mentioned their names and this is what they're doing, that's important. We had the same with actually the other day was the job was a warm referral. So the neighbor referred us to go and install the boiler, and the lady was like, is you the one coming to install my boiler? I say, well, back in the day, I used to be on tools all the time, but there's no way on earth I can grow a business and be able to look for my family, on the correct time, by me being all the time 12 hours a day. So I do have members of staff that we work together, and I got Ben and I got Charlie and I got Amelia. So we are open and we tell to people who they are, what they're doing, and what their background. But it's important and is admirable to see that, you took on board customer feedbacks. Because this is actually how you get your system and, everything
make
better and better.
Yeah, you need to polish the way you're doing, don't you? So you do something, other customers might expect the exact same. They feel like, I'm just going to call David. And then they call and there's someone else on the phone. Am I calling the right number? And then, so that and that actually sending out that customer will know that you care about them. You're not only there to quickly do the job and then just give us the money. It's not.
Definitely. Have you ever had a situation where before you use the systems, CRM system, have you ever been in the position that you were overbooking yourself, like same slot to different?
So, like we all been always.
So you see, it's important to admit that what was wrong, and learn from that and don't 100%. Do that again.
100%. So you have to have some.
What system are you using at the moment? Was your kind of, because obviously I bet you use a CRM system and some mail
I did. So I do use. So I started with a paper diary, obviously, but they're just very, very, when I very first started. I luckily got in, we were talking about before the podcast, I luckily got into it quite early. Early. Because, as I say, I had a little diary when I worked full-time somewhere. So I worked full-time as an engineer in a factory. So when I used to do work on the weekends, before you go out there.
Your side hustle.
And turn it into a full-time job, 24/7. So I used to just write it down like a little diary. It's only on the weekends, But then when I went to subbing, I used to use Google Calendar, which was digital. But again, It's just no different than a normal calendar.
Yeah.
You can just put colours on it and make it nice. But then, of course, you're meant to be here and then there at the same time. You just can't, can you? Because you don't have...
So is your system now obviously won't allow you to book the same hour a new job?
No, it would, but notify me. So no, you're busy in there.
You're busy that day.
Yeah. And then you say, oh, actually, you have to book it somewhere.
Yeah,
you see it through.
You know that I'm a bit mental with we use the same software, but recently I discovered. So all the time I thought, what can I do to this system to notify the system when I have a family, meeting or a doctor or I don't know. It's just the sport day at school for my daughter. So there is. That probably actually you block external calendar which fits the CRM system, and just suddenly no one even can book that. In our business, we used to have open diary for the customers to book the boiler service by themselves.
Calendar.
So they go in, they choose whatever day they want, but that day is based on our schedule. Yeah, exactly. And then they will pay, and that's it. And it happened a few times where I did not know how to block that particular slot. I meant to be at the doctor and someone took that slot. I'm like, oh my God. So
what do I do now?
So
go to the doctor,
exactly.
I do the boiler service.
Then, I call the customer, explain that it's my fault because, this happened, but it should not. But the idea is that I learn that I need to know more about this software. I need to learn to make it work for me first,
personally,
in order to provide the good service. And, I think when we changed the service, because before we used to work on Google Calendar, and then we have this specific app which was keeping all the data for the gas safety, gas boiler service, and all the stuff. So when we changed to the new system, the customer, they were a bit shocked to see a text message from ACF, like branded, and even saying like, wow, I received a message about the booking and then another reminder and then that you coming. That was shocking. And even I was watching you on the map. I was shocked to see that. And obviously this is an old customer, which they use us for years. But then the new customers, they was like, wow. I mean, like within seconds after booking, they receive. And then when you ask them in the end, like, okay, now can you give me a honest feedback, why actually you choose our service? It was just different, special than anybody. What do you mean? I mean, just the fact that you take that time to send us the booking reminders. I mean, some of the customers, they thought actually I'm doing myself. Okay, so they did not know actually is a system put in place to send the automatic. That's literally, like, wow.
And obviously,
and obviously suddenly I know what jobs I have every single day. There's a function in the service mate. I'm not sure if you use it or not. So you are in a job, and let's say is 11:30 midday, and you have the next booking at 1:00. An hour before the next booking, the system will generate a text message.
Okay, that you're gonna be a bit.
You'll be late for the next job. It's all because the GPS position where you are and where the job will be. And if you stay for too long, they will give you advice, leave in 15 minutes to arrive to the next job. No, actually starts from half an hour. So when you receive a text message saying that leave in 30 minutes to arrive to the next job, and you know that you'll be still in the job, what you'll do? You'll just open and send the text message that you're running late.
Okay. Oh, no, I've seen that you using it with Charlie.
Yeah, so it's just mind blowing because for me, one thing, again, I used to follow a company which they did not even care about this. And I took the bollocks. I went to the customer and the customer was like, where you been all day? I was waiting. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, if you'll see my diary, you'll understand. But obviously it was not his problem. And then obviously all these stories, because we heard a lot of stories about, plumbers being late or not even turning up. And especially in the first few days when I start by myself, so many people over the moon, so happy that you actually been in the job. So definitely it's very important to have the system in place and then engage. Are you using any email campaigns, and what exactly you do with them in email campaign? What's the role? It's
basically again to keep your customers keep yourself in the mind of your customers and educate them.
I use them as a sell point or something like that, or it's just more educational?
No. Occasionally, yes, but no. Well, yes and no, really, because you have to educate them. They won't know. Most of my customers, they don't know. Like, electricians are not that easy to check whether, but it is easy if you know how to.
Yeah.
So we don't have we do have governing bodies. We do have, you need to be registered, but customers just don't know
where to go
and what to do. Because obviously, you got your gas safe.
Yeah.
And that's it really. There's no any other organization is there.
That's true.
So we use an email system to, it's a software.
Okay.
Eva is the name of it. And then basically when we go out quoting, just when we finish the job, the quote, the visit, the survey, then when we come out from the quote visit, we automatically send them an email. So it's done by, so basically you've got lists, customer lists, and then you move in the customer into different lists.
Okay.
So once you've done, so I do send them an email with the quote visit appointment. So when they call, we book it in. I don't use ServiceMate to send them the confirmation. I use this emailing software.
Okay.
So it sends them a confirmation of the booking, right? So in that way, the customer details are already in the emailing system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we leave the quote, then we send an informational email, which will talk about how to check an electrician. So when you come in, an electrical. You need to get 3 quotes. We advise them to get 3 quotes. Don't only go with us. Get 3 quotes so you can compare properly.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can compare the service. Yeah, you need
to
advise them.
You're very confident in your service.
You have to be. You absolutely have to be. So no, it's just educate them. It's because you need to let them know how to check it. Because many times I turned up and said, look, we've either been let down or we had an electrician like. It was 2 days ago, or even yesterday. No, 2 days. No, yesterday. We went into a house and said we had an electrician around, made holes in the wall. Yeah, all they had to do. So they had a socket here. Yeah, they had a socket here. They wanted it moving up, maybe just above the washing machine in the utility, and the electrician made holes all over the place. Obviously, the electrician didn't really know where the cables coming, what's the route and stuff like that. So it left the customer with holes in the wall and stuff like that.
Was that just for the quote?
No, it was for the job.
Oh, for the job.
Yeah, they just called us, said, look, we had an electrician, can you come around and do it? We quoted it straight away. It's just literally an hour work. So we went in, I cut a new hole where the socket goes, pulled the where the cable runs. You just put a new socket in, that's it. It was an hour job. But if they were to, obviously the electrician definitely wasn't registered. Yeah.
It's a bit of common sense.
So if they know how to check the electrician whether it's registered or not to do the work, then
save them some pennies.
You would have done that.
Oh,
So after the quote visit, we send out an email to say, look, these are the websites you need to go to check whether the electrician you want to get into your house are competent, are registered, got right insurances. We send out what insurance we have, background checks and stuff like that, all in one email. So at least they know all of these questions, whether that rise in the customer's head, it's all answered in one email.
You see, so this is where you actually add value to customers.
Yeah, 100%.
Because sometimes, I came across a lot of weird jobs, and you ask the question, was the person behind me, before me, is it gas qualified? Because you do a common sense mistake, you can't do that. And we had this call from a customer in Kettering, and I've been recommended to him by a customer, and the guy who was actually saying I know you're expensive. I say, mate, I'm not expensive. I just bring value to what I'm doing. I'm not expensive.
That comes with a cost.
And then what happened? So he got a builder to do a full renovation in a house, all the plumbing, everything. And then he got apparently a gas engineer to install the boiler, which is a bit weird. You should have the gas engineer doing all your central heating system anyway. But what happened, funny enough, the central heating system was done, but never been pressure tested. The gas engineer installed the boiler, but I don't know how he installed the boiler and connected to the system, but the system was losing pressure. Like in half an hour, pressure was down all the time, and they could not find anywhere any leaks. And I say, like I'm a gas engineer, a heating engineer. You asked me to come and find your leak. Normally, we don't do this type of job. When he told me, I've been recommended by a customer, they said, you are very good and you're very helpful. So, okay, this is the way how we work. This is our hourly rate. And you have to be willing to allow us to work as long as it will take, because, it's a matter of like start to eliminate one by one. Yeah. And obviously having the right tools and equipment, which costs money in the end. We run a thermal test. Yeah. So we run the central heating on full capacity, and then we run a thermal test just to see if there's any hot patches somewhere that is spreading the hot water from the system. And we came to the problem quite like an hour. We find it. So they run the mains, hot, cold, flow return, everything through the back of the boiler. They chased into the wall quite big, and the gas pipe as well, everything in bare copper. And then they literally, there was a faulty fitting on the system, but that was not the worst thing, because the fitting, you change it, but actually they fill it with mortar, which is sand and cement, straight on the bare copper. You're not allowed to put the bare copper in the sand and cement like that. I mean, not even the water pipe, but what about the gas pipe? And then I said to the guys, mate, this is so bad. And then I said to the guy, was the guy qualified plumber? No. I say, based on the price you pay for the job was done here, definitely it was not. And sometimes, like you said, do not go for the one quote just because it's cheap. No. Ask another 2-3 quotations. 100%. But then how can, and you're right, in our industry as a gas safe, everybody knows about gas safe. If you go to a older person like 60, 70, something like that, they ask you if you are Corgi registered, because before the gas safe used to be Corgi. Okay. So the public is very kind of well educated when it's coming to a gas engineer has to be gas safe, but still no one checks us. In our industry as a gas safe, people, they seems to be more educated. They know about, and there are people asking, are you gas safe engineer? And I am. And that's you can fake your card if you want. That's exactly. But I all the time say to the people, like, and this is one other reason why I opened this podcast about trying to educate people is very crucial, because sometimes it's heartbreaking to see, especially the older generation, they are the one get tricked quite quick. They have in the house people which they are not qualified, and they ripping off people. I mean, I don't say that that's expensive, as long as it's a value and quality and all the service and all that customer service and all that is fine. But there's no customer service, there's no quality, there's no qualification, or you still ask ridiculous. Exactly, that's rip-off. So.
We don't call rip-off because you're expensive. You call rip-off is where you do a job it doesn't worth a penny.
Exactly, and you leave it unsafe and all that stuff.
You could be as most expensive you want if you do a quality job.
Exactly, and if you expect priceless. The customer needs,
we say quality is not expensive; it's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. So if you do it once, you don't do it twice.
Yeah, that's it. So if you do a quality job, it can't be expensive. If you go in with a mindset of, I'm going to leave this place jackpot, then it's not, it can't be expensive, can it? And you can't really put a price tag on that, can you?
In my pitch for boiler surveys, we have a service which provide to the customer, which is called the customer property protection. And the customer is like, oh, what's that? Oh, wow, actually we're looking after your property, so we have dash sheets, carpet protection, everything. And if there's something wrong with that, we do have a friend called Henry, and that will leave the place spotless. And they're like, who's Henry?
And the Hoover.
So we are plumbers, we do carry a Hoover. We have the wet Hoover for our job, but you have the Hoover. Why? I mean, my wife she made me OCD, but my wife, she's very, like everything to be nice and clean. My family, my mother was the same. So as a plumber, I cannot comprehend how can you be a plumber and to be dirty and not literally caring about customer property. 100%. And especially really at least leave the property in the same state you find it.
Yeah, that's what my dad used to say every time. You need to leave it in the same or better.
We had the job in catering for a gentleman. They were probably in their 50s, something like that. Yeah. And again, I've been recommended. So we go in there okay, boiler. Quite easy. Do the survey and say, no, not enough. We have to change all the radiators in the house. Oh my God. All the carpet in the house was the light blue, like baby blue, something like that. Oh my God. So imagine how much we need to take for the protection. And, clearly I put in the job notes from the boys, you need to take extra protection here because there's no way on earth we can stain this carpet because, the customer will kill us.
100%.
But is their house? How can you not respect them?
Yeah, correct.
Simple like that. Yeah. What I want to talk about next subject is about being transparent with your customers. So being upfront. Are you upfront with the customer about your price? And there's a silly question here. Does your prices reflect the 5-star service?
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah. So meaning like the level between the price and the quality of service based on the customer feedback.
Yeah. So our 100%. Our price is not based on each electrical company will have different prices. Will have different business expenses. Right. So when I was a one-man band, if you're a one-man band, you're only working for yourself. You're running around with a cheap £500 van. Then obviously, all you have is fuel, isn't it? Maybe insurance.
And repair the van because it's breaking every single week, isn't it?
So then you can charge £20. You can charge £20. You can charge £30 because you're not registered. You go in there, you do your job quickly, you leave, job done. But when you have a proper system in place, proper tools, proper vehicles, proper maintenance, all that kind of stuff, then it comes with a higher business expense, doesn't it?
Yes.
So it will reflect on, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be the one who's paying for these. Yeah.
How transparent are you with the customer about the prices?
Straight away. Yeah. I can't come up with a ballpark figure. So when I do a quote, there will be no prices given because unless I do know. So I can't really say like standard jobs like fuse board upgrades and stuff like that. We do have our pricing structure. So we can give a transparent price, a ballpark figure. But if they need any installation doing, anything that involves lifting floorboards and stuff like that, I won't just say a price right there and then. I said, look, I'll have to sit down, work it out, and give you the best possible price. Because I've got my prices on the website as well. So we don't hide prices or anything like that.
Did you ever came across the situation where you price for the job, but at the end of the job you need to charge extra? How you dealt with that situation? In other words, like the job is £500, we do the job, and the customer receive a £600 bill.
No, obviously no, because you do confirm before,
And if there will be something extra which you did not seen on your survey, how you deal with that situation? You speak with the customer.
You make a judgment right there and then. You obviously do speak to the customer. Yeah. So
you not end up overcharging the customer without their approval.
No, obviously not. No, you won't be happy with that, would you? No.
There you go. Finally, an honest, straight person.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? Honesty is crucial. Again, if you're honest with your customer, they will know that. They appreciate that. So I did come across jobs where they wanted an extra socket. You missed something on the
survey.
Yeah, like for example, they wanted a couple of extra lights. Yeah, I did check. Yeah, whether you got the right protection. You got the basic requirements are in place. But obviously, you can come across issues where you take the light fitting down and you see, actually, there's a fault. There's no, there isn't sufficient. Like for example, we need to have an earth on the metal light fitting. Yeah, so there wasn't one. Okay, so the cable's there, but the measure, you test it, it's not there. So then you obviously have to do further investigation. You do allow a little bit in your own time, depending on how you go on. But then first I took the light fitting down, measured it, there's no earth. Now you turn around to the customer and say, look, this is the situation. If you want me to change the light, I do, but we need to do fault finding. We need to find You need to have that in place. Or you can just say no and like have the old light fitting back. No problem.
Yeah, that's impressive.
You know, so because you can't, you rather decline the job than do it in the wrong way.
Yeah, but sometimes what we find in our industry, there was someone before there, they saw the fault, they did not report and they just walk away. And then you go there, you want to do your job correctly, and then suddenly you are taken as the goat. Like I had this customer who had the boiler for years there. Apparently, it was installed by a big national company and serviced. But the flue, according with the book, with the manual, it was completely installed incorrectly. And I just pointed out based on the manual. I said, look, this is the manual. This is actually the right requirements as a clearance. And the guy was like, no, there's no such a thing, you know. And he kicked me out from the property. So I was like, wow. And yeah, I do appreciate that. I think, yeah, it's crucial when you crack on the job and you came to find something which, again, 100%. During the survey, you won't be able. No, it's the matter that you speak with the customer. The fact that you will just, you know, like leave it like that, down on the line, you kick the can down on the road, and later will come up that I had this guy, he did not tell me that he's unsafe, or I don't know how you call it in your... So
unsafe.
I mean, prices is a thing which some people, they will ask you.
Some don't care.
Some people they won't. But
they want to know, don't they?
In our industry, sometimes you have people like, I need a plumber to have this one fixed because, you know, boiler is not working. So people asking how much it will cost. But what we start to implement in our office is, okay, that's the hourly rate we charge for a boiler breakdown service. And why? Because it happens sometimes to go, they do the job, and obviously the customer found it was a bit too much. And that was our fault because we were not upfront. But I think it's nothing wrong to, I mean, you don't have to shout on the street your prices, but if a customer require a job and asks for it, I think you should be 100%. Transparent and no surprises end of the job on the bills. There are company out there which this is the way how they make money. We haven't seen it, you have to pay extra. I mean, I agree with that. You haven't seen it, but at least discuss with the customer 100%, before
whether
you do the job.
Want to pay it or not, because some installation would can end up in thousands. So we've got like, you know, you got rubber cable. If you got rubber cable in the installation, you can't work on it. No, because you don't want to touch it. They just peel down.
They are breach. They are quite old, isn't it? You still find them properties with.
And then just say no, you can't. There's nothing I can do. And you just say, this is the issue. You need a rewire. There's not much we can do. So we did have a few lately in the last couple of months. We did that. We turned up, took light fitting down, rubber. Can't touch it.
Wow.
We explained why. And then just say, look, you can't. You need to rewire your house if you want to sell it. You can't sell it with it. Stuff like that. So you have to have communication is very important, but being transparent. When you send a quote, you need terms and conditions, don't you? So do you send
yes, we do. We learn the lesson.
So in your terms and condition, it states that this is how much we charge you, any extra. Or for example, you go into a job. Have you ever had that when you go into a job, you're there for a little job and say, why are you here? Can you just? When you're here, can you just? And then you say, yes, we can, but it's going to cost you extra. If it's a little one, that's fine. You know, can you have a look at my socket? Why is it not working? You know, you take 5 minutes. Fine. If you want me to do it, I'll send you a quote. Or, yes, we can actually. We do have the time, but it's going to cost you extra. You're not going to go, we can do it, no problem. You do it, and then you show them with a bigger bill. They didn't expect it because they thought.
Definitely. You have to be transparent.
100%,
Oh, definitely. Fourth subject, the nurture process of the customer. How important is for your customer to see your face? Probably even to the extent of social media, give them free content, we call it, but it's mainly educational. So how you deal with that? What are your thoughts? Are you public? Social media?
100%.
You have your own YouTube channel, Insta?
Everything, everywhere, little bit everywhere. You have to be everywhere. And if you're afraid to put your face on your business you're running, then you can't just hide behind your logo, can you?
Yeah.
You make a nice logo and you hide behind it. No. You put your face out there, that's me. That's what I do. All my advertisement I've got my face on it.
Including your leaflet.
100%. But I mean, it builds trust. People, and to be honest, if you look at an advert and then you see a guy in the advert, you look at a video, you see a guy in the video, and then that guy turns up at your door. Yeah. You feel like you know him. Yeah. So it's got that, it builds trust before even seeing the customer. Oh, so wow. You got your face on every advertisement. You got your face on the camera.
We start more and more. I think every business at the core value, comes from the owner. Because in the end, you are the one which will establish the core value, the principles and everything. And it's nothing to be ashamed of to be there public and, it's nothing 100%. To hide. Nothing to hide.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Nothing to hide.
And especially for there will be, I came across a lot of people which they call for advice. This recently, as Teams was passing by and I started to have a bit of results, and the company name is kind of everywhere, and they ask a lot of questions about this. And this is what I say, guys, the company is who you are. People buy from people.
Exactly.
People won't buy because they like your nice logo or your nice website. They will like you. So you better kind of if you have a problem and you don't like to be present online, probably you have to deal with that present, because obviously you won't be able to stay. This is a service business. Yeah. So you provide a service and requires a person to go in the people's house. 100%. It's not that, you sell a shampoo. Even there probably you need, but as a fact. So I all the time say, even recently I had one guy and was like, oh, this stuff are not for me. I said, listen, you have to understand that out there are millions of people. That millions of people, they are not all the same like one person. They are all the same within us. And obviously you'll have your own people which you'll be alike. It's just the way out. There will be people which might not like me because I'm too tall. I'm loud.
Yeah, you talk a lot. You're always on a mission.
That kind of stuff. Probably you'll find customer which they want a person who's a bit more chill out, and there's place for everybody.
You don't have the vibe together.
Exactly, but in order for people to trust you that you are the go-to, especially in this field, if you are not out there and actually proving it,
100%. You have to put your face to it.
You'll miss. Today I had a call from one guy, and he's struggling for 25 years in the business, and he's struggling. Yeah, and I said, "Well, you're not from 25 years in the business. You had the job for 25 years.
Correct.
Because if you are in the business for 25 years, that would be a huge problem. Still to struggle."
Yeah,
because being in a business, you should learn every single year. You should have, data. You should have something to point towards you that you do something wrong. It's simple like that. But if you have a job for 25 years, of course you'll struggle.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it's a different. Yeah, when you go self-employed, you need to know how to run the whole thing.
Advice for newbies, which means probably. You had the one guy at one point. Probably you still have him.
Hey, Michael.
No, the young lad who drops the leaflets for you.
He's the apprentice starting.
He's the way. Oh, wow. No, that's literally bang on now.
Yes.
That's bang on.
He's
really? Wow. Yeah. So I met this lad. I think he was 14 when
I met him.
When I met him. So you recommend me to her mum, I think, his mum's.
Oh, okay.
To repair the boiler. Then the lad just turned up home and the mum will say, oh, look, Floring is David's friend. So then he told me I'm working for David, dropping these leaflets. And one day I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So what advice you'd give to a 14, 15, 16-year-old person who probably he's going out to the college? He's that place now.
Yes, he finished his studies now.
Oh, wow.
And he's coming with us. He's already on work, how's he called it? Work experience, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
So he works, he's having a taste. I said to him, because obviously when you're 15, 16, you can't really decide what you want to be, do you?
Yes, that's true.
You're only trying.
Yeah.
You're only trying. So I said to him to come with us for a couple of months till September, obviously. If you want the apprenticeship, I'll give it to you. Because obviously he's a hard worker, isn't he? He's been working for me for 2 years. And dropping leaflet. I don't know who's going to drop leaflet for me now.
Oh, wow. there you go. It's a problem now.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so it's hard to get an apprentice these days because from both sides. It's hard to get a hard-working lad at the age of 16. It's very hard. And vice versa. Because I have calls weekly saying, oh, my child finished, apprenticeship. Looking for an apprenticeship. Can't. People just don't want to take them these days. But I think they... what advice, try to get an apprenticeship if you can. To go to, what I always recommend is go to wholesalers, suppliers.
Okay.
Leave the CV there. So if someone walks in, obviously it's going to be a tradespeople, isn't it? Yeah. And say, look, are you, I'm looking for an app. I did say to my wholesalers, even when I was looking for a van. So look, if anyone's selling a good van, let me know. Okay. So, they're there to help you out, don't they? So if you leave a CV there, they will mention to, they leave it on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
You walk in and say, oh, actually, I'm looking for an apprentice. Okay. So, that's a possibility. But for newbies, I don't know. It's hard to advise them, aren't you? You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to do it.
But in other words, there is, being an electrician, easy or not a satisfied job.
It's a lovely job. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I really won't. No, not because of, I do enjoy it. So it is down to you, really. If you don't enjoy electrical, then don't be an electrician. You have to find what do you enjoy the most. I do enjoy being an electrician. Ever since I was young, I used to do electrics with my dad, didn't I? So it's just sort of runs in the DNA.
I did try when I was little, and I did a bit of mess at home with trying some experience. But I think you're right. If you don't like the thing, you can't do it. I mean, for me, I was just obsessed with the pipe, and just understanding the system, what was behind, and all the where I grew up in Romania, we do not have individual central heating for each flat and that kind of stuff. So it runs on the mains, like huge pipes, and where you were going under the basement, to see what's there, you were shocked what was there. But obviously, then another thing which kind of make me satisfied is when I see the happy face on the customers, especially when customer calls in, there's no heating or water, especially in the winter, and you go there, you just you do your magic, work a bit, sweat a bit, and then suddenly heating on, and they just love you for that. And I think it is very important if you think to go in the trades, you need to love what you have 100%. To do, and you need to love to help people.
Exactly.
Because if you cannot,
don't go in for the money. Don't go in for the
if
money.
If you don't go there with the first in mind, like, let's help this customer, let's make it right. Like, let's leave this house safe.
100%.
I mean, we came across some properties sometimes, and if I'll be in Middle East somewhere, or in Asia, or in Africa, probably I will understand. But in England, still, there are cowboys around, literally cowboys. And I don't, if you have water pipes, wrong installed and all that stuff, or not, is one thing. But I'm talking about the gas side. Leave unsafe situation. It's just unbelievable, and it still happens. So I think it's our duty as a plumber, electrician to call it out.
That's it, exactly.
Call it out. There's nothing wrong. My instructor when I did my gas, he all the time said, if you find the unsafe situation, so in our case, if I go to, work on a boiler and I find the unsafe situation because of the installation, normally you should report it. So you have to report it. First report it and then fix it. But the guy said to me, try first to get a hold of the installer and allow him to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine the response you get.
Yeah, so there you go. And I tried twice, and
you get the response.
It was not fun. So then I was like, what, leave it.
Oh my
leave God. It. But but call it out in idea that you see a problem and back up with the right regulation and show to the customer. Can in the end, customer obviously they need to know as well. There are some little stuff they should know.
Yeah.
When it's safe, when it's not safe. Right. The second part of the podcast, business to consumer. So we'll go through a session of a few questions, actually. How we can help the consumers. I mean, there are a lot of information in the internet, to be honest. And I'm not saying, is wrong or right, but I think it's good that there's information there, and we have to make sure that we give the right information, and then it's due to the customer to check it. But the idea is we want to help the customers with our advice. Agree on that?
100%.
Cool. Yes. Right. So first question is energy saving tips and advice. Are there any energy saving tips which, as a customer, we should be aware of?
Well, you can do. New LEDs came in place long time ago.
Oh, okay.
And I still do come across properties where everything is halogen.
Oh, wow.
So, the lights, you can easily tell the difference. Halogen will burn your finger. So if you go, so if you have a light bulb and you can't touch it, that's probably not an LED.
Okay.
LED will produce heat as well, but not as much to burn your finger. It will be hot a little bit, but not going to burn your finger. And so many times I do come across down lights, the old light fittings, recessed down lights, outdoor lights, major. Outdoor lights in the back, you can't get the bulbs anymore. They like 100 to 500 watt bulbs. Okay. So, electricity is measured in watts. So like your usage, the more you use, the more you pay. So if you have a bulb that takes 500 units, call it units so everyone understands, then the same amount in LED, would take 20 units. I'm just drawing up a figure. It's not inexact, but the amount of difference you save is huge. For an outdoor light that's on a sensor, it comes on every time. It adds up. So if you were to have a 3-bedroom standard house with all halogen lights, you were to replace the LEDs, you will notice the decrease
on your gas bill, on your electric bill.
Oh wow! On the gas, and you have some problems in there then. But
because it's weird because everybody talks about how to save energy, but everybody refers to your heating.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Because out there is all how can you save energy, but is everybody talking about the gas bill, which is obviously a good thing. Yeah. But obviously you still use electricity in the house.
You do, but again, you do use it, but limiting to use electricity is. So limiting gas usage. Okay. You don't heat. Okay. Right. So, you don't heat. You put an extra clothes on. You can limit that, but you can't see in the dark, can you? So
yeah, but
you can't just limit. You can limit it.
Okay, but there's still a way to save on that one as well by
a little bit. Yeah,
by having on that one. Yeah. And what about the appliances? How important are the appliances in the house?
When you pick and choose them, absolutely. You have to check the rating of them. We actually do have a help sheet that we give out to customers. Okay. With the ratings are changed. So it used to be A++, and now it's so many pluses. So they do change every now and then. So we do have a set sort of a table where what you need to look out for when you're buying an appliance and stuff like that. Because they fridge freezers nowadays they all have to be compliant to a certain efficiency and stuff. But
because we tend to buy appliances based on the price. Oh, that's cheap, but then we never look.
Yeah, you never do look, do you?
How much will cost you to run it?
Adds up. Like showers. Showers we install. I never, very rarely recommend over 8.5 kilowatt showers.
Oh, the electric shower. Oh, why?
Because some customers saying, "Oh, but I want a stronger shower." You're not going to have a stronger, the pressure in the shower.
Exactly.
It's not going to be bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the heating element is. So if they put that power rating is to do with the heating element, not the pressure, is it?
Yeah.
So the water's not going to come quicker because you have a bigger shower. And customers not tend to know that. So you need to educate them. So look, you have a shower 10-15 minutes every day, don't you? So it does matter whether a 10.5 kilowatt shower or an 8.5 kilowatt shower being used.
Oh wow!
So that's
good to know. I learned from that as well. I did not know.
Exactly. So And also a 10.5 kilowatt shower need a bigger cable, which is very hard to work with. So
all right, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
But why will you put a 10.5 kilowatts?
So 8.5 kilowatt showers, they come in a reasonable price.
Okay.
But if you want to buy a very, very fancy shower, they'll
be more expensive.
Rated, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So personally, me, I don't have an electric shower. I just don't. I've got the...
Yeah, but it is important to know, because again, we choose the products based on the price. And I think it happens on us as well on the gas boilers. Even though the gas boilers, they are very close when it's coming to the efficient rates, they're very close. It's just a very minuscule. But in the meantime, we can advise customers, if you really want to save more, you can have some extra controls, something which helps the way you control the heating, and then teach them how to use it as well. Because unfortunately, is one thing which I always came across is the way how we use the central heating. So probably back in the day when the gas was very cheap, we did not care about the pollution. We were putting the heating on and then off, and and try now to take example of driving a car for a certain distance. The distance, the destination, and there's no time normally to heat up your house. It should not be a thing which has to happen in 2 minutes.
No.
If you understand how it works. And I said to them, well, driving to London, that's 70 miles at 100 miles an hour. Yeah, we'll take you there very quick, but you'll burn a full tank of petrol or whatever, example. But by taking it to, I don't know, 50 miles, 55 miles an hour, just take it a bit more easy. You'll still arrive there, but you'll use less gas. And it's the same things with the heating. I try to explain to the customer, do not shoot the heating. Like the house is cold, like your thermostat was off and now you put it on 30. This is what you do. You open the way of the way the boiler will work, and the boiler will just,
smash out.
Yeah, it will work at full rate. The problem is, if you understand a bit more the heat curve, what will happen there, the fact that you have it full on, the heating goes, and you put it at 30 degrees, you'll never like 30 degrees in your house. What you like, your body, you might like 21, 22 degrees. When the body will find the temperature at 21, 22, probably will be too late, because you accelerate the boiler, will shoot, and then what you'll do quick, you'll turn off the thermostat. But by turning off the thermostat does not mean that you actually stop the heating. The heating is still radiant, will still pump in the house. And what you'll do next? You might open a window. And it happens so many times. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
So there you go. Look how you waste energy on the window. And especially on the old customer, I try to explain to them, take it easy. You need to go to the shop. It's no rush. It's no rush for you. Take it easy. Just take it easy. So put it, I don't know what's your desired temperature. You'll have to find it out. But put the thermostat, let's see, 19 degrees. And let it there. Anytime and leave it. Do not play with the thermostat. If you set it at 19, let it stay there. Why? Because the boiler, if let's say it works at 90 degrees, reach the temperature, and you stop because you reach it, will drop to 2 degrees and then will fire up again. People say, but the boiler will be on all the time. He's not on all the time. He's on the standby call, so he's on the demand, but will work when actually the thermostat will come on. But the boiler will be still warm, and that will modulate to a very low consumption. Why? Because it's already hot. But by leaving it on and off, you create a huge discrepancy where, suddenly you have 10 degrees in the house and then you want to push it to 25.
Yeah, exactly,
But again, it's about educating people. So, but, I all the time ask myself on the electric, but I do believe there's things we need to learn on the electric as well. And I don't get me wrong, some people, they get rid of the gas hobs to put the induction hobs. I presume even that induction hob, you should check, what's the consumption, like
100%. Yep. You need to.
And I bet some of them.
I don't know. I'm a gas. I like gas. I had induction when I moved in.
You took it out
straight gas. Yeah, it's always. There was always a gas. What about windows and what about doors internal? Would you leave them open to create a whole? So that
between the rooms,
so you don't separate the rooms and heat them separate. Sort of
no, because we actually yesterday, funny enough, I had the meeting with. We have this project with 4 houses, new houses, in the region of 350 square meter each, so quite big. And the underfloor heating downstairs is all done. And now we do the first fix on the radiators upstairs. And I've been on the side with the developer. Developer is a bit, is good, but the builder is a bit more knowledgeable. And the builder with me, we talk about not to separate the heating downstairs on each room, but to be everything the same downstairs and another zone upstairs. And it kind of took me a while to explain to the customer that is a bit wrong, because normally when you put the heating on, you do not heat a room, you heat your house. And all parts of your house need to get warm. I'm not sure if you can recognize this, but back in the day, I used to go to my grandparents, and they have this wood burner. The house was that cold that you go next to the wood burner, but your body on this side, it was hot, and then the other side was freezing. I know. So you cannot heat a room in the house when the rest of the house will pick up cold, and it's not. I don't understand some people saying like, oh, I do turn upstairs. Yeah, I'm agree with upstairs. So I agree down upstairs radiators to literally not probably off, but to reduce them as much as possible, because naturally the heat from downstairs will go upstairs. It's natural. But to shut down the heating downstairs and heat just one room, it's a bit difficult. Obviously, if you're just yourself, nobody else in the house,
of course,
probably that would be the best thing. But the advice now is more like a family. Because the burden, it is on the single people as well, but the burden is on the families, how they can save more energy. And it's by, keeping that temperature. In our house, the thermostat is at 19 degree. And if it's a bit getting colder... Sorry?
21 and a half here.
Yeah, is it? That's your missus, isn't it?
Yeah,
so we keep it at 19. And if it's too cold, we probably put another degree, but we do not shut up the terms
and then down.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to let it gradually, because in essence, what you do, you allow the house temperature to go up.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Right. Second subject: how to look out for the cowboys.
Okay.
I'll let you start with this one. So how can I recognize a cowboy before I hire him to work on my property? Probably this will be a question which every customer will ask. How 100%. Can I?
And that is why we send out the email, don't we?
Oh,
so after the quote was it. Exactly. That's one of the reasons why we send out that email. But it will have key points in there. This is how you identify a cowboy, because you have to turn up with. So, for example, I would look out for, in the email we say you have to look out for what they turn up with, right? Okay. So are they turning up with a signed written van? Do they put their company, their image onto their van, on their vehicles?
Oh wow.
Are they presentable?
Oh yeah. Polite.
Or after a rewire, completely dusted, hole in the shirt and stuff like that. Are they taking proper notes? So if they come in, you explain them the job, they're just looking at you, no problem, but no notes being taken, no pictures being taken, or anything like that. Do they listen to you, or just want to tell you what you need, really? And obviously a website where you can check them. So you go in and put their name, company details, stuff like that. Do they send you a proper quote, or just tell you a price there and then on a piece of paper?
Wow. I mean, to be honest, I cannot add anything else. Honestly, true, I think that's really bang on.
Yeah. I think you need, because you need to check them, don't you? So you look at these. Do they turn up on time? Are they organised? Are they organised?
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell some people just literally got there. They don't even know what day on time is, and then just quickly take your details. Yeah, we'll come back to you. And then they never do. And they never do.
Never. I tend to, we used to have customers where, I need that job. And obviously, if you're the type of person which you don't like certain jobs, at least be upfront. Don't mess up customers' time. I mean, the amount of time we've been there, say, I got 4 people, they never come back to me. Never go, what? With the quotations, really?
Yeah.
Which is a bit, silly. But that's a sign of a person who will mess up the job
100%.
eventually.
100%. You have, if you get someone in, you need to do your research. So in that email, we do say, do your research. Don't just, I got him out from the book. That's not research. Everybody should have access to the internet, don't they? So you have to go in, type the company name, who's this guy, look out for, recommended. Is it recommended? Do they have, look out for previous customers, what they say about them. Reviews, of reviews comes into place. And exactly,
we had the customer recently on your street, the lady in Bangalore.
Okay, which one? Yeah, because there's a couple of them.
I won't say the name, but just the last one. I think about 2 weeks ago, the boys was on your street.
Oh no, cool.
And was a lady. She moved actually from California, from another city to
Canada,
Colby,
isn't it?
And obviously she did not know tradespeople around and that kind of thing. It's difficult. So I can't remember exactly. She went online. She found us. Went there. Took a while to talk with her, old lady, give her time. It was a good chat, to be honest, a good chat. And took her a while to decide. Now, she's 80. And I myself, I don't feel necessarily confident to deal straight with these people. If I can feel them that they are not they are not secure, safe with them. And then I say, okay, do you have any friends, family, kids around, someone who can, assist us? And they'll say, yeah, my daughter's around. I say, look, what I'll do, can I have her email? So then I'll send the code to you and your daughter, and, have a chat with your daughter before you do everything. She calls back about 3 weeks later. Yeah. And she's like, my daughter obviously advised me to, find another few people to call, which, I advise her as well, which is fine. And then she asked me, what do you think about this company? I found them in this book. I say, I can't tell what I think about them, but what I can tell is that you need to do your own research. You need to find the reviews. I don't know. You need to do this, because I cannot, I can say, they are not good, but,
exactly,
it does not help you, does it?
No.
And then in the end, she does her homework. She booked the job, have it done. And I asked her, why did you choose us? And she was like, I did my homework. Obviously, her nephew, I think, helped her to go to read reviews about these 3 companies. One of them was us. And they say, everywhere where we find your company, you did have a few negative reviews, but we could see the problem and how you deal with it, which, that's the most important 100%. Thing. But then the positive reviews and, that makes sense. But other companies, to the extent that they had the problem and they refused to go to fix it, or they even refused to pick up the phone. I was going to ask you actually in the first section, if you ever, because I just want to see how we deal with this, if you had a problem with a customer, they are not happy with the job, and probably they ask you for refund or something like that, what do you do in that situation? Like,
I never had it.
You did not have it? Okay.
No, I had, but not for refund. So I didn't have, nobody ever wanted a refund. Okay. People don't want a refund, I think.
But they want you to fix the problem.
But they want the job done. So, if... so we had a couple of situations like that, yeah. So we had... it was a Hive thermostat. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's probably... I didn't know you back then. I would have called you.
And you tried to install it yourself?
Not me. My brother was. So installed a Hive thermostat, but touched the panel. So I don't know what he did in the thing, but the thing, what happened is he fired the panel in the boiler.
Oh.
Yeah. So he tried to install it, touched it or whatever, it fired the
PCB board.
Yeah.
In the boiler.
PCB board,
oh wow.
Yeah. So obviously
that was expensive.
It cost a little bit of money. Yeah, it did. Yeah. It's 200 quid, I think it was, something like that.
But you get it solved and customer happy.
Get it solved, yeah. You order a new one and then that's it.
See, that was the reason why, is because we had a few incidents, and is again, we are not perfect.
No one is.
We had recently a lady, very good customer, and we did a job last year, and it was a fault we left in the system.
Yeah.
And it did not show up at all, but just after a couple of months. And she texts us, we got this leak very small leak in the ceiling after she just redone all the downstairs, reskin, painted everything. I say, okay, we'll send the boys out, see what's the problem. So we find the problem. Obviously, the boys say, oh, this is the problem. Seems like, we done a mistake here. And what was my message? Say, okay, take out your plumber, your plaster, ask him to come out, quote for the job, and whatever the bill is, we'll have to pay it, and everything correct, yeah?
Correct.
The lady called the guy, sent me the quote, was £380.
Done.
Bank details, transfer the money, and that's it. I think,
and then you apologize.
I mean, and listen, she will be our customer for the rest of the life. I mean, it's no problem, because this is what she was shocked, actually. She said to me, when you ask that question, like ask the plaster to come to court and, send me over so we can refund you, she was like, what?
Yeah.
But, that's the way. Correct. Yeah,
100%,
definitely.
that's the way. The guy left, this guy who we burned the
PCB board
out, he left us a good review. He did.
Oh wow! Yeah. So you see, you can still get a good review based on a bad experience.
Turn the bad into good.
Yeah.
You have to, because at the end of the day, you're there for the customer. You have to make them happy. So I think that's many tradesmen does that. Oh, I messed that up. I'm just not going to pick the phone up. That's not the way.
This is how you lose business and 100%. You lose customer trust.
Anytime we install anything, we say, look, if you have any issues, give us a call. And then they do, of course. We're not perfect. Nobody is. We did put a nail through a pipe.
Through a gas pipe.
No, it wasn't gas. Oh my God, it wasn't gas. It was water, but heating. So even though I turned the stopcock off, it didn't stop. Yeah, there was pressure. Course, will be. So I had to drain the whole system and stuff like that. So. But then I think you sort it. Whatever it costs. You take it as a loss. There's not much you can do.
But you a lesson learned.
Every customer have a lifetime value.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not just that.
Oh yeah.
Not just that
you
job,
see, there's bang on.
So if you, let's say you come in a little small job, you just put in a socket, but you flood downstairs. It's just what it is. You take it. It's business expense, isn't it? You just take it because you made a boo-boo, and then you fix it. That customer will appreciate that, and then in a year time it will come back to you. It's a returning customer.
Definitely won't call you back if you don't accept the mistake you did. But you rather accept it, then you'll still have chances to put right the things with the customer, and by keeping that customers in years to come, you'll kind of make your money back based on that mistake. But you learn something. That's so good.
I always tell the lads. So even this new guy who started, Matty, and when Michael started, I said to him, anything you do wrong, anything you mess up, let me know so I can deal with it. Don't hide it. Don't try to hide it.
Is this based on what I told you about my apprentice or what?
No.
So we had the apprentice, one of them, and he need to change the shower mixer on the top floor. So he turned the water off, changed the shower mixer. He did not put the shower head into the razor bar, and not even checking if it's on and off, which but did not even turn the doors off or something like that. Anyway, he went downstairs, he put the water back on. The shower was on, the shower head was on the tray and was spraying onto the floor. So by the time he went the second floor up, there was water everywhere, and he did not say anything. End of the day goes, go to the office, and I start to send the invoices out for that work, for that day. And I just received a reply, oh no, you wait to get my invoice. I'm like, what? So, okay, you call the customer, say, oh, I just got this reply. Is everything okay? And he was like, well, you don't know? I say, no what? I mean, your lad flooded my bathroom. I'm like, oh my God. I say, he did what? Yeah, he did not tell you. And that job was done about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midday. So after 4, 5, 6 hours, I did not know about that. So obviously, I say, listen, mate, I'm so sorry. Is what can we do to make it right? And the guy say, whoa, is damage there, that I will have to have a decorator out to see what's the cost. And I say, okay, take him out. Whatever the cost is, obviously cancel this bill. Don't worry about it. And we'll pay that. It's just simple like that. Now, it's true that that customer never ever came back to us, but no one can say that I damaged their house and I did not care. I mean, sometimes you will lose this customer forever because, you messed up. But again, that was a lesson learned. And what I did for the actual guys, what I have now, there's no such a thing. If there is a mistake, if we screw up something up, we need to fix it. There's no way we leave it like that.
100%.
So that's very important. I agree with that. So this is how you avoid cowboys, by checking on them.
Yeah, we did go off topic a bit, don't we?
Yeah, we did. But in the end, it makes sense because, you advise customers and you can get on the feedbacks. Because funny enough, if you try to employ someone and there's no feedbacks, you can't find anything about him online.
How are you going to find them when there's a problem?
Yeah, there's a good. And then if you go online and you find feedbacks, you definitely should kind of make your mind, you decide 100%. Based on their feedback. And not
only one thing, it's not only one platform. You're going to have to go Google, Facebook, Instagram, Trustpilot, whatever. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because the more you find, the more information you find about them online, they sure in themselves. We do YouTube, we don't, not much, but we do.
Oh, that's it. So you'll pop up there as well.
Yeah, you have to, Oh, wow. You just have to put yourself out there and then...
Right. Next question. Recommend the product to the customer for their own comfort and safety.
Product or service?
I would say product. Something, I don't know, for their own safety when it's coming probably even to, I don't know, cameras, security cameras, rings.
Well, for me, safety... It means a bit different than maybe for a customer. So for me, safety electrically doesn't really mean cameras around the house. That's to do with theft for me. So, if you're afraid someone breaks into your house,
cool.
Of course we can talk about that. We do, cameras and stuff like that. But from an electrician point of view, is your fuse board. You need to maintain your fuse board. By maintaining, you need to service it.
Service it. Well, oh wow!
Well, not service
so
it.
What?
Get it tested.
Okay, get it tested. So why would you do that?
You want to make sure that everything that is working and used every day deteriorates to a certain extent. Yeah. Okay. So you get your boiler serviced every year.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why,
There's a reason why we do. With fuse boards, not many customers know that you need to. Some doesn't touch it for 50 years. You walk in, I don't know, well, back boilers. How old they are?
40 years.
40?
Yeah, there are some of them for years.
Exactly. So you walk in and say, who's servicing this? Nobody signs that off, do they? Yeah. But people still have them. Fuse board the same. So you got like 50, 60 years of fuse board. They don't cause an issue. Because they don't trip. They obviously don't trip because they don't have the device.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
Because they cannot trip.
We never had a problem with it. I said, of course you don't. Because it's just a wire there.
Wow.
There's no right protection. Technology improves. With new devices, even if you had a brand new fuse board, we recommend it. If it's just a fuse board, it's recommended to have it tested every 5 years. So every 5 years,
basic,
every 5 years, it's just literally a test. All your devices, make sure your sockets and all that sort of testing comes back okay. They don't deteriorate, but people don't do it because it doesn't avoid any warranties.
Okay.
Like with boilers, if you don't do the service.
Yeah, but what will happen if I don't know, like example, if a cable is losing in the connection, is not tightened properly? It
creates heat. So if you have a loose connection, it creates heat. So many scary stories. Yeah,
because you recently done an inspection a few years ago at one of the property, and it was a switch apparently, or a socket. I think it was an 83,
On yours? No,
the first one,
short.
A short, there you go.
It was a short. So it was a short. So it was a pressure fault. That's a bit different. So the connection was tight, but the screw that holds up the switch is touching the conductor.
Oof.
But the outer insulation. But obviously over time, it goes through on it. Yeah. So there's a pressure. As soon as it gets through, it will trip. It's okay if it trips. If it not trips,
that's the worst.
That's the problem, because then your screw will become live, won't it? If it's not earthed properly, or
so. In other words, you say that the safety things will be to not necessarily
to get your electrics checked.
So there's not necessarily a product.
Not necessarily.
What about I saw these products where you
RCDs and
no the plastic 3 pins you plug in your sockets to protect your kids.
That's a joke.
Is it?
That is a joke. that basically you're giving them a tool to open live connections. You shouldn't do that. Anytime I see that, I'll explain in a minute. But anytime I see that in nurseries, I went into a nursery and I seen that. I said, you need to remove that very quick. Because toddlers, what they like to do, they put they put everything all into things, isn't it? They plug socket in, they plug. That is just a piece of flexible plastic.
Okay.
So every socket in the UK designed to be safe as they are. So the third pin on the top.
Yeah,
that's literally a lever. So if you push something into it, it opens the connections on the bottom, and those are the lives. So if the toddler takes that out and puts it in upside down,
you'll have
the connections will
be live.
Yeah, they are live. They will open.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I mean, the likelihood it might not ever happen, does it? But if you put it in the wrong way around and gets a little piece of other metal, whatever it is.
How that thing went through them? Because I mean, there are so many people having it.
Yeah, so many, and it's just
it's wrong. Oh, wow,
it's just wrong. Yeah,
I mean, you'll expect that the socket when it's designed that way that it's safe.
There's no way the kid would,
So the top pin, that's why it's longer, because on every plug you see the top pin is
so it opens the bottom. That's why you can,
my God.
But, your Eastern European plugs.
You got just, all right.
All you got to do is push the plug and then it goes in. Not the right way to do it, but that's one way to. You can't obviously do that because the Eastern European plug got the earth connection on the side.
Oh, then
so when you plug it in, it's not earthed.
Protected,
your appliance is not protected. But that's a joke.
So that's a safety device not to have in the house.
Yeah,
because it's classed as a safety device. I don't know exactly.
It is, and you can still get them. They should be banned. I think they should be banned because they sell it like, protect your plug. No, it's safe as it is. Leave it like that because the kid won't go, plug something. They designed so if you have a look at a UK plug, they designed so if you look at it, the bottom pins that become live. At the very bottom, they plastic and then they metal. So even though you can't hold the plug when you push it in, the top one will open the levers, and you can't touch the
metal
because it's made of plastic for a little bit, and only the tip is metal, which
is the conductor.
So before it, it's designed that way.
There you go. So we don't have safety. We have to take them out. Actually, this stuff.
You do. So and other than that, you just get your electrics checked regularly every 5 years. I mean, it's not like every year or every few months. Every 5 years because regulations change very quick.
What about smoke alarms?
Yeah, they're important.
Yeah, is electrician?
Funny enough, I haven't got zero. I've got no smoke alarms in my house.
But is not something which is mandatory into your industry?
Rented properties, yeah.
Rented property, yeah. So how many times you been to rent a property to change them? If the landlords decide, because I came across our software, funny enough, I don't know. So the gas safe inspection we do, the form is created like that to take notes on any CO alarm, smoke alarms in the property, if they work, if they don't work, and put the expiry date, because we base on the expiry date, and we test them all. If they work, and then we have to put the date. If they will say when to change them. Some of them, they don't have expiry dates, so they are not up to date. So
is that smoke and CO2?
Yes. And obviously, it won't allow us to condemn the system. If you don't have a carbon monoxide alarm in house, we won't be able to pass it. So we have to install ASP. That's why we carry a lot of them with us. But what I find that I report to landlords so many times that the smoke alarms, they're out of date. So that means that sensor, that heat sensor, is not working correctly anymore.
You got like a tester for it, didn't you? Like
and you go second year to do it, and there you go. The same alarm's still there.
They don't really care, do they?
Yeah,
they only meet it's a grey area again. I've done a course with ACO.
Okay.
And the regulation they go by, so basically fire detection and all this smoke alarm regulations and stuff. They recommend system much more advanced in rented properties than the government advice. So obviously landlords just want to comply with the minimum, don't they? Not all of them, of course. Don't want to make,
Yeah, but I will try to say that if you have it in the property and it's faulty, there was a reason why it was installed there.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
Everyone's choice in the end.
It's exactly. It's up to the landlord really, and up to the homeowner whether they want to have one done or not. But government guidelines says I think you have to have one on each floor. When do you ever see a fire starting in a landing?
Yeah.
Or in a hall? Never.
There's a grey area. You're right.
Yeah. So where do fire starts? Living room, kitchen, 100%.
Yeah.
Bedrooms where people smoking in bedrooms and stuff like that. It never, barely starts in a hall or a landing.
Yeah.
You go in a hall, take your shoes off, in better places. You take your shoes off, you walk through. It's hall and landing. By the time the fire gets there, the smoke gets there. Good luck, innit?
Yeah. On us, I think the one thing is now is mandatory for the rented property, the CO alarm. But we install with absolutely every single boiler. Everywhere where we go, there's no one. We advise the customer to have it installed because it tends to happen, especially when you have a whole boiler. There is a bit of problem.
Yeah.
And we have so many times we've been called that the CO alarm was on, and then you go and test it. The test can take hours to find where it comes from. And then simple facts, the customer, we had this customer where she was cooking. She had this range cooker, massive cooker. The kitchen size was quite small. She did have a door and the windows, but all the time keep them closed, and she cooked for so long that it burned out all the oxygen from the room, and suddenly there was a CO there, and she was feeling dizzy, but the CO alarm was beeping as well. I said, wow, I mean, there's a reason why the CO alarm beeps. So I say, if you don't have a CO alarm, have one installed in the property, that's for sure. When it's coming to the smoke alarms, they're not that expensive as well.
No,
you should have them.
No, 100%.
You just to keep it protected. Yeah, why not? Right. Last session in the podcast, I will start with you again. 2 crazy stories, unsafe situation you have encountered. Now, I know probably on our side, we have the Gossip magazine and we read stuff which actually became, what do you call it? Like really in the court or even end up in the jail. Probably, I'm not sure on your side, but definitely you have some story if you want to share with me.
Yep. I do have a story of my own. It didn't turn into a disaster.
All right.
Do you want to hear some disaster stories electrical?
No, whatever.
It's up to you.
Whatever you want.
There are people who went into jail, not doing.
Electricians.
Yeah, there was. It's a big story. It was how tough it. Don't exactly know all the details. All I know is there was a pub down in, I think, Rumford, London, and the electrician done a test. Said it's safe. And a little kid died where they were out in the garden. So all the family was there and stuff like that. He touched the light fits in and he got shocked, died. 8 years old he was, I think. Yeah, and he was, It turns out that I think the electrician was the mate of the pub owner. Yeah, that's why, it's very...
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I mean that's a bit too crazy. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's
crazy. So,
people die.
So you have to understand why some people are expensive, and you are expensive because you have some expenses in your business to go to educate yourself, 100%. To stay compliant, to have the right tools, which won't lie to you. Again, have the right tools to test. So all the time we were talking about this subject, I do believe that electrical is a bit more dangerous than the gas, because the gas you can smell it. You'll smell the gas. You smell and there's just a certain level of gas which has to be in the room to be able to ignite. Flammable, but on electric is
you feel it
when it's too late.
You feel it,
when it's too late, or can be wow.
But if you do your testing properly, it's just everything else. If you do it properly, then you
there's no way on earth you'll make.
Yeah, you can't really. If you have if you know what devices you need to have in place, and you're not, as I say, you don't go in it for the money, because you can do a report in an hour, but that's never going to be a proper test. Some with these reports back to the products, get your fuse board tested. There are companies out there, they do it in half an hour, charging absolutely nothing.
Like visual inspection. We have it now in this,
and they're giving you the paperwork, just like in this pub, isn't it? So they're giving you paperwork is fine, but it's not fine because you haven't.
Someone said to me like, "Oh, if there was no gas leak last year on the pipeline, it cannot be now." And just a quick story: one customer everything was fine till one day they start to smell gas. So someone in the landing, they put like a 6 mil ply in top of the existing floorboards to sort of level up before they put the carpet. And they went in with these small nails, which probably were like 20 mil, 20, so not to go through the floorboard. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but that nail, the just literally the tip of the nail, it was touching the gas pipe. I don't know for how long, but probably any time when you were stepping on the landing, it was just putting a bit of pressure on the gas pipe. Yeah, and I don't know how long it took, but it came that day that actually that nail penetrated the gas pipe, and they started to smell gas. It took us hours to find the gas leak. Put this nail, we would get there, and it was shocking to see. It was not that you put the screw straight in on the nail. It was a very tiny little pinhole, literally releasing the gas. Now, if that property will be inspected every single year, you will find problem. Law is quick, easier.
Save you a lot of money as well.
If you do, no, not just money, just the danger. I mean, it is very dangerous, the gas. I do strongly believe.
Yeah. I don't know how that property turns out. I called you yesterday about when I smell gas. I told the lady, "Oh yeah, that's no problem. Smoking in the room."
Oh wow.
Okay. I said monitor it. It might have been because of the space, but.
I mean, if there is a thing, if you smell, you should do as an owner, you should do something about it. But sometimes you came to people like probably a bit tight on their budget, and they just don't want to hear about problems. But if you leave it like this, it will turn out in a big mess. So I think you have to take that on board. One quick story on our side: illegal fitter carry out gas work despite previous jail term. So imagine this guy. I call him a plumber. Probably he got a bit of knowledge on doing plumbing, but definitely it was illegal for him to work on the gas appliances. He was already jailed.
For the same thing.
So you came up and you do the same things. The homeowner contacted the police after noticing that the mister had not carried out the work properly. So you have a customer which kind of smells something dodgy there. The HAC, which is the Health and Safety and Environment Investigator, found that he had fitted gas appliances despite not being registered. And he already had the previous prohibition notice not to touch this stuff. I know all this customer, well done that you find this. I mean, you saw that is a wrong thing about that installation, but you should do your homework before that guy came in.
Yeah, well, that's why we need to educate them.
Like I said, in our side as a gas engineer, it's easy to if you know the company who will come to do the work for you, you can easily go on the gas safe registered website, and you just put in the company, and that company should have listed who are the engineers which are qualified to work on the gas appliances. And I said last time as well, and probably in your case as well, we have. Like if I'm gas qualified, doesn't mean that I am allowed to work on any gas appliances. So there are different tickets for cookers, for gas fires, for boilers, for water heater. So it is again, customers, is very, very important to
educate them,
and to check this stuff. Because in the end, it turns out that if there was no harm to these people, that's good. But it happened so many times. It happened so many times where was a gas leak, and you just hear kaboom.
Just see the mushroom.
And that's not. I mean, it was back in 80s in London. A block of flats nearly collapsed all because of a gas leak. That was the point where gas safe became gas safe. Okay. And was a bit more regulated but again, even if you are a gas engineer, just do your job correct, mate. It's 100%. Just take you that extra 5-10 minutes, keep the people safe,
and then ask for your prices for that, don't you? Because most people, what they do is they go in cheap, more jobs, right?
Yeah, but they're too busy.
They're too busy. They don't have time to do it properly. They go into this loop, don't they?
Yeah, and you cut corners, and then you ask yourself why you go in trouble. No,
do it properly.
I think we should. You should raise the level.
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
Because it's all about keeping people safe first and foremost, and then make them satisfy what they need.
Make them
But
happy.
I think, if you have that in mind, I think things can turn good for you and for your neighborhood
And the business.
and the business. I don't know if I told you, but we used to have in our region a plumber who all the time went out the ass, literally, but winning jobs like huge difference of prices. And obviously, in the end, is customer decision who they go with. And all the time I say, if you go to a person who is very cheap, there's a certain time and distance that person can run. It cannot last forever. If you do the things wrong, you cannot be on the market for too long. There's a certain time. It will just catch you up. It's just no way. And, after 2-3 years, the customer went busted. Simple like that, The company, And then customers now, this guy installed the boiler for me. I can't go hold of him. I mean...
I have, I do have a quote I sent out. I haven't had a reply yet, but it's basically the electrician did the work, extension, and he's no longer in business. No certification.
Oh
my God. Well, we can test it and then see whether what he did is okay. It's an extension with a 16-way boarding.
Oh, wow.
So that's a huge extension. So,
Wow.
So,
wow.
Don't know.
What about employing someone which you just met in the pub?
Yeah, no.
And you don't...
That's again, if you check where if they registered, so when you register, the governing body who you register with will give you a promise. So if you, let's say there are many of those registries, NAPIT, NIC,
Okay.
and I've heard of them. Alexa, there are loads that you can register with. They all allow you the same thing. You can notify your jobs with building controls and stuff like that. And they also give you a promise that if you do something wrong, you contact them. You give them your membership number.
Okay.
You've done the work, and they will get you to go back.
Yeah.
If you don't go back, they get you off the registry. So
you can get in trouble.
That's a sort of an insurance that you can get. Where there's you might be and the membership signing up with them ain't cheaper. Yeah, that again. If someone's more expensive than the other, it might be because they do the things right. Yeah, because if you get someone in who's not insured, what if it goes wrong? What are you gonna do?
We had the call. I mean, this is another crazy story. Kind of safe and unsafe. We went to service a boiler, and fairly new boiler installed last year, and obviously we'll ask for the boiler manual so we can do the service according with the book, and make sure everything is right. So the customer was like, "Oh, there's no boiler, there's no manual." I'm like, "What do you mean there's no manual?" So the guy did not left the book with us. I say, "Okay, have you received the paper, the warranty papers?" No. What about the building regs compliance certificate?
Oh yeah, that's very rare.
I'm like, okay, tell me more. Who installed the boiler? Oh, my husband met this guy in the pub. Okay, there you go. So I said, look, there are some problems. I haven't touched the boiler yet. Oh, look, that's wrong. That's completely not correct based on the manual, the instructions. And then secondly, the fact that the guy did not register the boiler with the building authorities actually says that he's not exposing himself for further checks. Because as a company, and we stated in our quotation, we do issue the gas safety
100%.
certificates, and we will notify the building regs.
Controls,
why?
as well, yeah.
Because they need to know that it was us, and if there's a problem, it's us who to be blamed.
Or to come back to get it done.
Or to come back. Yeah, if a person is not even... some of the customers, they do ask why you are so specific on so many items you put on the code. Because you need to be aware you should receive the warranty, you should receive the gas safe paper, you should receive all that stuff. So in the end, again, it's done to us to do our job correctly. This is the job we're doing, but... these are your duty to check.
Yeah.
This is you should receive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because in the end, it's not just the product you will install for that customer or the service. I mean, it's actually more about the service, because product is product. I think you install the same fuse board like anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's about the service. Is the service done correctly or not?
And the aftercare that they receive, isn't they?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of things to talk about, guys.
Could be here for a couple of
and I
days,
think
though.
we can be here for days. But what can I say, David? It's really a pleasure to have you here. And you are a living proof that you can come from a one-man band, understanding
So
the customer needs and putting the system correctly in place, and literally be there for the customer and for their own safety. And obviously, the way how I'm thinking is you get rewarded for the quality of job you're doing.
Yeah, hopefully.
And the quality no meanings that like how straight
the socket
I do
is.
hope it's
how
straight.
safe it is, isn't it? It is great.
But it's
got to have
about
to be.
again, is electric. It's not that you call someone to put the laminate floor on your kitchen. That should be safe as well.
No,
And make sure it's not slippery. But it's electrical. So guys, all the time, if you get to the point that you need electrician work in your house, obviously David is working just around Kobe, so don't expect to come over the place.
No. Thank you.
But it's very important to
check them out.
check them out.
Yeah.
I mean, do your research. I know, sometimes, is the time everybody, we have this problem. We don't have enough time. Seems like 24 hours is not enough in a day.
No.
But you have to do your homework. And especially, that's a bit disturbing me, that story where that child died in London. I mean, to the extent that we put money above the safety is not good. So you have to do your homework, guys. Make sure that whoever will come to do any gas work, electric work in your house is the right person for you. Check them. There are places out there. And I bet if you go on Google and type in how can I check an electrician, you should come up what's the bare minimum.
And it shouldn't be hard to check. So you shouldn't do much of digging to find out more about the company, isn't it? But then even if you put your company, just your name or your company name, it will come up with all sorts of information, all sorts of your website. You must have a website.
You have to do all that stuff. And one thing I like at you, the fact that you send that email to the customer after you see them to guide them where to go, how to check. That's literally insane.
Yeah, you have to, because then it
does not cost you anything.
No.
But
it does a yearly subscription.
Come on, that's a 50 quid. But it does help customers a lot to take the right decision.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, because then I understand if you're on a budget, go with the cheapest. So that's the only option. You do that. There's not much you can do about that. Yeah. But you can guide them. You can give them the information to, okay, this is how you do your homework. You go onto this website, you put your, you have 3 companies around, you put each of their details in. Yeah. And see what some of them not coming up.
There's a question mark.
Don't even go with it, because there's no point, is there? Oh, wow. You might as well do your job yourself, innit?
We don't advise such a thing.
Do some, training videos on YouTube and. Yeah.
I mean, we don't advise customers to do the stuff by yourself, because, it's like if you feel you are competent, but, based on what standards. But is it the same story with the gas and plumbing? I mean, it's funny because we talk about gas, but sometimes on the plumbing side as well, you got plumbers doing such a messy job and, creating so many problems. And customers, they just, I did not know it. Or I just heard someone told me in the pub that this guy is good. I mean, good that he's able to come next day to do the job. I mean, there's a question mark. Yeah, why he's unable to come right now?
That's actually
in the gas industry, for us, sometimes we have to have an engineer a bit flexible to take in jobs, especially in the cold period where, you expect someone within 24 hours, 40 hours is fine. But, again, do your homework, guys. So,
and expect the tradesman not to turn up the next day. So you call someone and say, with electricians, is that, if you have guys on just for reactive calls, like for us is I mean, in my business we never really have a call, I need you today. Like, I haven't got electricity.
As an electrician,
we can guide them through over the phone to get some of the circuits back if that's the, we do that service. But it's very rare that we receive a phone call that, I haven't got power in the whole house. That's very rare.
Normally you have it on Facebook. People will type in on Facebook.
Just do this,
guys, everybody okay with the power in the neighborhood?
Unless it's a power cut. So if then you call the relevant bodies. You call your electricity provider or national grid, and they will advise you on that whether there's a power cut or not. But with us, you don't have to be. So if you call an electrician to say, I need a fuse board change,
I can come now.
That's fine. I'll come in tomorrow morning.
There's a question why. So you have to be careful, guys out there, because
that's it. There's so many
stay safe. Right. So thanks you for being with us. It's been a good hour, I think, and a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about, and a
lot to learn.
A lot to learn. Lots to learn, and I learn as well. And it's again, guys, we want to bring value to you as a consumer, bring value to you as a newbie if you ever decide to go in this business.
If you're already in a business,
exactly. It's a lot of things. I mean, I still learn, and I look for people who are ahead me, and I admire them, and I learn all the time how to improve our business, how to improve even myself as a person, how do I deal with my employees, which is a process which we should never ever stop. We have to learn.
No.
Big thank you to ACF Plumbing and Heating for supporting us, paying the bill. Paying the bill. It's very, very important to have someone behind to sponsor these episodes, because in the end we want to bring value to the table. We want to bring good content. As I said to the previous
the standards of the
industry, we have to. I think everybody will have to put their work in and bring the standards up, because obviously.
Isn't it?
Exactly, and by doing that, you will have eventually a more safe community, and you still have the cowboys around, but at least we will have the people to kind of find them easily and quick and get rid of them. So as I said in the previous episode, guys, the podcast will be, at the moment, is just on the Apple Podcast, but soon will be released all over the place: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we do really want to get feedbacks from you. I know, and as we were already talking about, we grew our businesses by receiving feedbacks from customers, and probably you'll have a subject which you are very keen to hear or to listen or to learn from. Just put it on the comments, and we're looking forward to seeing that episode with a different guests, different subjects, but all related to bringing customers value. And we're looking forward to see you next time. Thank you very much, and we'll see you
very much
soon. Bye.
Take care.
The NB is not correct. Oh no! I'm looking at damn TV.
Yeah. Ready?
Right. Okay. Cool. Right. So. Okay, out to hand. Okay, cool. So thank you guys for being with us. It's been a good an hour and a half here, talking with David about funny stories, weird
interesting stories.
How to improve your efficiency as a newbie, as a business owner, how you as a customer can actually learn to track down if it's the right decision to employ that electrician, plumber,
or any tradesman, really.
Any tradesman. I think it applies in every business. Is important. And as I said in the previous episode, we really like to get feedbacks from you. We strongly believe, both of us, that in order to move ahead forward and to thrive in the business, it's important to listen to our customers, get as much feedback as possible, and improve. So if you have any questions, any feedbacks, probably the negative ones, won't listen to them, to be honest.
I don't want to be,
but but no, for real, if you have any, even if it's positive or negative, just share it with us. The podcast will be soon, actually, will be live on YouTube, Instagram, all the other platforms. But it will be still live on the Apple Podcast, where you can hear it, listen to it, learn from it, and I will be really, really happy to hear your feedbacks. Either though if you have the same stories or similar, or if you want to hear more from us. David is to be found at DNA Father and Son
Electrical
Ltd. So
Good that you remember after
DNA, yes.
Yes,
DNA.
13
So
November after, yeah.
David is an electrician which is all the time recommended by me in any single job I'm going. I do not recommend anybody else. I used to work with somebody else, but I found David. But I did not know you before. But I found David very trustworthy. So if you need an electrician and you are in local, try find David.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And
vice versa for gas engineering.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the all of you, thank you very much for listening to us. Thanks for staying with us, and we're looking forward to see you next episode. Till then, stay safe. Most important.
Exactly.
Cool.
Take care.